One Zambia, one nation. Thank you so much for joining us on Zanis News. To present it, I'm Michelle Luvinda. The headlines. Government calls for intensified sensitization to combat cholera. CDF projects create job opportunities for youths in Mpika. Provincial lands offices, councils urged to work together. The news in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema has sworn in Zambia Air Force ZAF Deputy Commander Major General Oscar Nyoni as new Air Commander and has promoted him to the rank of Lieutenant General. The President has also sworn in Brigadier General Arthur Kalaluka as new Air Deputy Commander and has promoted him to the rank of Major General. The President has urged the two officials to serve the country and the people diligently. More in the following report.
President Hakainde Hichilema has sworn in Zambia Air Force ZAF Deputy Commander Major General Oscar Nyoni as new Air Commander and has promoted him to the rank of Lieutenant General, replacing Lieutenant General Colin Barry, whom he has terminated his appointment with immediate effect. The President has also sworn in Brigadier General Arthur Kalaluka as new Air Force Deputy Commander and has promoted him to the rank of Major General. The President urged the two officials to serve the country and the people diligently as they made oath at State House in Lusaka today.
Leadership is a pyramid. There's someone sitting there, and it's General Nyoni. You are the deputy. There should be no confusion about that. What citizens expect is teamwork with a clear command. There's a commander-in-chief. Very clear. I don't have to teach you anything. But more importantly, there's service to the people of Zambia. Service to these journalists here. They are our bosses. Citizens expect you to serve them, ZAF Commander, Deputy ZAF Commander, to the best of your abilities.
The President further urged the families of the newly sworn-in officials to support them as they execute their duties.
Please, families, support General Nyoni, support General Kalaluka. We need your support as families, as we perform these national duties.
Meanwhile, the newly appointed ZAF commander thanked President Hichilema for the opportunity granted to them to save the nation and the people at large. Lieutenant General Nyoni pledged commitment to save the people as well as to contribute to the national food basket.
In terms of service to the people, the Zambia Air Force role in the second reform is to ensure that when there are disasters, we should be able to come on with our air assets and give service on behalf of the government during those times. And so we'll try as much as possible to ensure that we do that with perfection. One of the added roles that the Commander-in-Chief has given us is to ensure that we contribute to the national food basket. And by way of upping our game in our farms, which are dotted all across our bases, we'll try and produce as much food, maize as possible so that we are able to achieve that directive.
Ethel Chanda, reporting for Zanis in Lusaka.
In health news, Lusaka Province Minister Shiu Mulyat has called for massive cholera sensitization in Lusaka to help combat the disease. Mrs. Mulyata notes that cholera cases have continued to be on the rise in the province due to lack of sensitization. Details in this story.
This is Mutandabantu Market in Kanyama compound. Traders here are reluctant with personal hygiene, despite the fast spread of cholera being recorded in this part of Lusaka. They are blaming Lusaka City Council for failure to collect garbage in the trading area. Lusaka Province Minister Shiu Mulyata, who toured the market and shallow wells in the community, has cautioned the residents on the epidemic.
ya bwela kolera sisanka bwela bwanji kolera kumwa manzi tauzine mtushala no boilinga no ikama chlorine kuja amene ya mansomba yamene futi achoka ku toilet na kutishala kuonera mkalako amai kaneti somweka kaneti maikapo kuti at least vainzisivankalapo madini kasi iyi ni riski.
Kanyama Hospital Medical Superintendent says the health facility receives over 10 cholera patients on a daily basis.
Close to 12 patients, and most of them are critical condition. So that's why we're seeing a bit of delay in seeking the health services. So as the director has said, cholera is a community and a public health disease. And for us to contain it, we need a lot of, we need to stop it at the roots, which is the community. Yes. So we need a lot of chlorine so that the community chlorinates the water. We need a lot of sensitization. Our team has been trying to go in the community.
Lusaka Water and Sanitation Company and the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit have assured the community that the institutions will provide water tanks and water bowsers to help contain the disease. Evelyn Bewe, Zanis, Lusaka.
And the Nelly Muti Foundation, established by the Speaker of the National Assembly, Nelly Muti, has renovated the doctor's room and donated assorted items to the Women and Newborn Hospital at the University Teaching Hospital. On the Copperbelt Province, Luansha District is among the 10 districts in the province that has benefited from the 250 bicycles worth over 900,000 kwacha, which Obese Zambia donated to the Ministry of Health. The district has received a total of 25 bicycles that have been distributed to the community health workers to ease their mobility. We move to Western Province, where government has given assorted relief materials worth over 752,000 kwacha to the 70 fire victims from the Nalikwanda and Mongu Central constituencies in Mongu District. The relief items were procured using the 2023 Constituency Development Fund under the Disaster Management component. Namakao Kayombo reports.
58 families in Mongu Central and 12 in Nalikwanda constituency in Mongu District of Western Province have received assorted relief packs after their houses were gutted by fire. This happened between September and October 2023. The value of the items has been broken down to 623,500 kwacha for Mongu Central constituency and 129,000 kwacha for Nalikwanda constituency. During the handover of the items to the victims, Acting Mongu District Commissioner Siupo Kabisa explained that the items have been procured using 2023 Constituency Development Fund.
We are grateful that through the CDF, the component for disaster management, which we can locally administer. And because of that, today, these 70 victims will benefit from their CDF. It's their money.
Mongu Central Member of Parliament, Oliver Amutike, handed over the items to the victims.
Each family is receiving about 3 mattresses, they are receiving blankets, they are receiving mealie meal, they are receiving iron sheets, they are receiving cooking oil, they are receiving soaps, soya junks, beans, pens, books, nails. So it's really an assortment of things. And this is what CDF is here to do. CDF is not just building nice schools in Lealui, in Namarsho, in Kama.
Some of the beneficiaries of the items I spoke to have thanked government under the leadership of President Hakainde Hichilema for coming to their aid through CDF.
Nitumela hulu msebezo ezalile kakuba musali walikuwa shama kucherwa kono nitumela hulu kwa msebezo wako ni kubonisa bo president balona bwa Kainde amocho ni bo MP balona bwa mtike msikamwa siyera fa kono muzwele pili kukusaba tukafira bakeno mukutata uchwa nabo
mine kubona hala inge kuli hakuna zeza hala kono kashenule lubona kuli tolo yabona yale itoba reality mi lubatakufisa lo witumelo nikukupa muso kuli uzwele pili kuyangwela ngasicha basaona.
Some victims said the fires were caused by electrical faults Others said the fires were caused by nearby burning bushes that were being cleared, while the majority said the cause was not known. Namakao Kayombo, reporting for Zanis in Mongu, Western Province.
The Zambia Army Commander, Lieutenant General Dennis Aliwuzwi, has announced that Zambia will next year host the African Land Forces Summit. Lieutenant General Aliwuzwi said over 500 delegates are expected to attend the summit, which will be held in Livingstone from the 22nd to the 26th of April 2024. He noted that the aim of the summit is for African leaders to come up with the ways and means of solving the transnational problems that has continued to be a challenge in most countries in the region. General Aliwuzwi said this during the end-of-year media interaction held at the Zambia Army headquarters in Lusaka. And speaking at the same event, Zambia Army Director Public Relations and Foreign Liaison Officer Colonel Martin Liyungu observed that the media interaction meeting had not just strengthened the relations between the two, but also educated the media about the different military protocols. Meanwhile, Zambia News and Information Services Director Lois Saili commended the Zambia Army for organizing the media interaction and assured the Army of the media's consistent publicity on the upcoming summit.
In Zambia, where trust is as vast as our lands, Zambeef stands for unmatched quality in food safety. Endorsed with ISO certification,
ISO 22000 being a food safety management system entails that any organization that is in the food processing industry can actually obtain a food safety management system to ensure that overall the food is safe for human consumption.
Zambeef, feeding the nation.
For news and current affairs, entertainment, sports, children's programs, and a host of other events in and beyond our borders, Zanis TV has you covered. On Channel 6 and Channel 458 on Topstar.
In business news, the Kasama District Chamber of Commerce says introducing a 24-hour business operation can help to stabilize the country's economy. Chamber of Commerce Secretary David Chanda says operating a 24-hour economy can help create more employment for people as companies may introduce more shifts. Japhet Munkondia reports that Mr. Chanda's comment comes in the wake of calls by stakeholders, including President Hakainde Hichilema, on the need for the country to consider operating a 24-hour economy. More in the following report.
For a long time, Zambians have been calling for a 24-hour economy to help speed up the wheels of the economy. The Kasama Chamber of Commerce is supporting this call. Chamber of Commerce Secretary David Chanda highlighted that this can help transform the economy and increase productivity in the nation.
As long as we are not productive, I don't think there's a way that even our culture, will have value. So this call actually is a call to productivity. It's a call that encourages the private sector. It's a call that encourages business, to be able to be a bit more productive, make more money, create more jobs.
The Chamber of Commerce is also calling on private sectors to take a lead in implementing such measures.
I think in this country we do have people that operate 24 hours, and I think it's about time that businesses also adopted this particular model. It's actually going to be good for our economy.
And those in transportation business are in full support and want government to implement the move.
twafunda banamutekenya badriver wesu nga banaka bafire batusha bantu nga bakula ipatisha utuma accident twalafula kwena nachiwama.
The pronouncement by the president over that issue of Zambia should not go to sleep. We have to work 24 hours. That was a very progressive report.
President Hakainde Hichilema recently called for the need for the country to learn from developed countries and operate a 24-hour economy. Reporting for Zanis in Kasama, I'm Japhet Munkondia.
In Mchinga Province, the Constituency Development Fund CDF projects have created job opportunities for youths in Mpika district of the province. Some youths spoken to by Zanis commended government for relaxing requirements meant to access the CDF. Fareza cooperative member Gift Mwansa disclosed that from the 45,000 kwacha that the cooperative received as CDF funding, they managed to create job opportunities for youths by opening a bakery. More in the following report.
The Enhanced Constituency Development Fund, CDF, has immensely contributed in creating job opportunities for the youths who were once jobless in Mpika district. A case in hand is of a youth group in Mpika who are operating a bakery. This is after they procured a mixer and an oven with funding from the Constituency Development Fund.
Wali tashiraisa shire mpya twalikele panshi twati ngachaku tubai tupereshi mpya twachitamo na shena finishi ofo kwali kulancha tukashitamo ifya bakery watuka kwatu kwisula ko bakery kamwanya pantu bakery takwaba.
The ongoing CDF projects such as the making of desks and construction of schools have created job opportunities for the youths. This has contributed in transforming the livelihoods of the youths in Mpika district.
It has helped in many ways. As you can see right now, we have about almost 16 guys who are working with us.
Because at the moment we are bomba, something at the end of the day.
The Constituency Development Fund has made it possible for the youths of Mpika to participate and contribute to the development of the country. For Zanis, I'm Lakson Makoza.
In education news, Minister of Education Douglas Yakalima predicts that the revised 2023 National Education Curriculum will be implemented in the year 2025. Mr. Yakalima disclosed that the 2023 curriculum framework process has progressed and will be finalized by December 29, 2023, before being sent to Cabinet for approval. Sharing the status of the curriculum reform process at a press briefing in Lusaka, Mr. Yakalima said that the implementation will be done in a phased manner, starting with the early childhood education, grade 1, Form 1, colleges of education, as well as youth and adult literacy. The minister noted that once finalized, it will be distributed to all schools, followed by intense stakeholder sensitization and training of teachers on the use of the new materials. And Mr. Yakalima said the new curriculum provides the government an opportunity to integrate new national plans, aspirations, and emerging issues, which the 2023 curriculum does not adequately address. He reiterated that the reform process is a long and require continuous consultations, thus calling on stakeholders and the general public to remain patient and support government in the reform process.
The role of textbooks and other teaching and learning materials in enhancing the quality of learning and improving student performance cannot be overemphasized. In fact, quality teaching and learning materials can compensate for education service restricting factors such as large class sizes, a shortage of instructional time, high levels of illiteracy among parents, and a lack of reading materials in homes. As you are aware, curriculum implementation is done in a phased manner. Thus, implementation of the 2023 curriculum is envisaged to start in 2025 with ECE, Grade 1, Grade 4, Form 1, colleges of education, as well as youth and adult literacy. I want to take this opportunity to urge you all to take part in my government's reform of the education system by ensuring you support the implementation of 2023 education curriculum.
We take a break. Join us for more stories when we return. Stay tuned.
In Zambia, where trust is as vast as our lands, Zambeef stands for unmatched quality in food safety. Endorsed with ISO certification,
ISO 22000 being a food safety management system entails that any organization that is in the food processing industry can actually obtain a food safety management system to ensure that overall the food is safe for human consumption.
Zambeef, feeding the nation.
News and current affairs, entertainment, sports, children's programs, and a host of other events in and beyond our borders. Zanis TV has you covered on Channel 6 and Channel 458 on Topstar.
continue with the news. Minister of Lands Elijah Mchima has directed the Provincial Lands Office in Eastern Province to work with the local authority in identifying land for development purposes. Mr. Mchima has also reiterated his directive to both officials in the ministry and councils to consider the marginalized people in accessing land, as government does not want to see disadvantaged people fail to access land, which is critical in community empowerment. The minister was speaking in Chipata when he called on Eastern Province Permanent Secretary Paul Tole. The minister said the Eastern Province does not have adequate land due to its hilly terrain and that government will not allow people in the area to be displaced from their land. And Eastern Province Permanent Secretary Paul Tole said the provincial administration is concerned with lack of land to facilitate the establishment of the central business districts in the newly created Kasenengwa, Chipangali, Lumezi, Lusangazi and Tasefu districts.
Eastern Province has got no land. It's hilly, mountainous, this place. You start displacing people, where will they go? You take them where? And today we are talking in Jara, and you want to increase in Jara by displacing people. Nobody is going to be displaced. Cadres of PF are the people who are displacing people going with the title deeds. If people have lived on their land, it's their land. When allocating land, we have to consider them. And that's the way we are going about it. We are creating land in towns. There's some bit of land in Kabwe, bit of land in Kitwe, and elsewhere. We have to consider people who are marginalized. Even any council, councils are agents of bits of lands, and I'm directing that any council, when alienating any land, should consider the poor people, marginalized people. Mind you, we are put in this office by 2.8 million people. All those I consider them to be our people. They wanted good governances, to be transparent, to be accountable to them. Nobody should be displaced at the expense of money. Whoever got a title deed where there was settlement, and we prove it that there was a settlement, that title deed, I'll recommend it for cancellation. And I'm repeating, that title deed is going for cancellation. Because it was fraudulent, isn't it? Yes. And I'm taking stock. We have to take stock of land. Mr. Mwende, be very mini. Work with the councils. I want all councils, any land they do, we have to work together. And we have to do justice. We shall not just allow them just to handle land matters at will. We have to end corruption. We have to apply equity to the owners. The owners are the poor people.
In Northwestern Province, the United Church of Zambia, UCZ outgoing Northwestern Presbytery Bishop Moses Gondwe has called on the church to join hands with government in mitigating the effects of climate change. Bishop Gondwe said effects of climate change are being felt by everyone, hence the need for all stakeholders to come on board and join the fight. He was speaking in Solwezi when he received 2,000 pine tree seedlings from the Forest Department for planting at the church farm. We have details in the following report.
Tree planting is considered as one of the ways of mitigating the devastating effects of climate change, which poses a serious threat to the ecosystem. As the country enters the tree planting season for 2023-2024, the United Church of Zambia in Northwestern Province intends to plant 2,000 pine trees at its church farm.
We, as a church, are committed to partner with government to support what will save our people and to be a part of a crusade that wants to fight this climate change. We can help our economy, our country, and our people not to lose out. The climate change is doing so harm to us, but I think we are equal to this fight.
The Forestry Department is happy with the step taken by the church.
They made a request of seedlings, 2,000 seedlings to plant into their farm, and we're also happy that we offer some technical support to support them in terms of planting, management, and protection of the areas they want to plant. Because what we want is whatever is planted is made to good use. And we're happy that the church has come through, because as a government, of course, yes, we're supposed to plant and protect the environment and the forest. but we cannot work in isolation. We have to work with our stakeholders.
With the changing climatic conditions, tree planting has become inevitable, and the step taken by the United Church of Zambia is indeed commendable. Mwape Mwesa for Zanis News in Solwezi District.
And in Luapula Province, House of Chiefs Chairperson Chief Chisunka says chiefs in Luapula Province are ready to support initiatives aimed at developing their chiefdoms. Speaking when he met with members of the Farmers Development Cooperative Union, Chief Chisunka says traditional leaders are willing to release land for development, but that this will be done gradually. Kennedy Chomba now reports.
4 chiefdoms in Luapula Province will benefit from the Pine Tree Project, which will be implemented under the Farmers Development Cooperative Union. Luapula Province Farmers Development Cooperative Union Executive Director Catherine Kaumba says 13 hectares of land will be required from each chiefdom under the Pine Tree Project.
Luapula, Muchinga and northern provinces have been chosen to implement the Pine Project, which is a very, very big project. So in Luapula, initially we were given, I'm sure you were part of the team that picked the chiefdoms. Initially we were supposed to have your chiefdom, that is Chief Chisunka's kingdom, and then also Mushota, Chief Mushota in Kawambwa. But we were encouraged to pick 2 others, which we did with your consultation. So we have also added Chief Sokontwe and Chief Kasomalwela. So we have 4 chiefdoms that are going to implement this project.
The executive director has also given details on the Farmers Development Cooperative Union.
And then the FCCU is working with Hakainde Entrepreneurship Mentors Initiative for Cooperatives. This is an initiative by the Republican President as an individual. He's not doing this as the President or the Republican President, but as an individual person, because he's looked at his background, he's been a businessman for a long time, and he wants to share these skills. Now, his idea is based on 4 things. The first thing is that we'll bring people together, that is by forming cooperatives. Already those that have formed cooperatives, fine, but if in our communities people have not yet formed, we'll encourage them to form cooperatives. We are also encouraging clubs, because in most of these communities, they may not be part of cooperatives, but they have clubs.
And House of Chiefs Chairperson Dr. Chief Chisunka says traditional leaders will support any initiative aimed at developing their chiefdoms.
In the forefront of also sensitizing my fellow traditional leaders, because I've heard about this, so that we can see how we can help our poor people, our communities, our youths who are just languishing in the villages, to encourage them to come to their Royal Highnesses and acquire also to form the cooperatives and acquire land, instead of them just languishing in the streets and begging every now and then. It is important also to sensitize them to change their mindset on the importance of the land, the importance of the soil.
Chomba, reporting for the Zanis News in Mansa District.
Ministry of Tourism Permanent Secretary Evans Muhanga has called for intensified and sustained promotion of tourism sites in the country. Speaking during the Regional Tourism Coordinators Retreat meeting in Kabwe, Mr. Muhanga noted the need to promote tourism sites in the country in order to attract and increase tourist arrivals. More in the following report.
Tourism must continue to play a critical role in the country's quest for economic turnaround and poverty alleviation. And to this effect, the Ministry of Tourism has summoned its regional tourism development officers for a retreat in Kabwe district to review their past performance and ensure everyone sees their contribution towards the attainment of the ministry's objective. Minister of Tourism Permanent Secretary Evans Muhanga was represented by the Director of Tourism, Dr. Andrew Chilufya.
As a ministry, we have a mammoth task of ensuring that tourism is no longer a potential but a viable sector. We have a huge responsibility to ensure that various challenges such as inadequate tourism infrastructure, that have affected accessibility and attractiveness of our tourism sites are adequately and timely addressed.
The coordinators have been employed to identify areas of tourism investment in their regions.
You are expected to formulate the tourism development concepts for the regions, for different themes and ideas that will further the development of tourism in your respective regions. You are also expected to identify and discuss the areas of tourism investments in your regions. It's very, very important that we now move away from always talking about there is potential in the Northern Circuit, for instance. There is potential around, the source of the Zambezi River. We want now to start talking about seriously realizing this potential and transforming it into reality.
And regional coordinator for Lusaka, Peter Band, wants other coordinators to be transformative.
New Dawn government stands on an agenda of transformation. So the only way we can be transformative in the way that we contribute to development is for us to be innovative in the way that we discharge our function.
Daniel Billy for Zanis News in Kabwe District, Central Province.
That item on tourism brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, a recap of stories that made headline. Government calls for intensified sensitization to combat cholera. CDF projects create job opportunities for youths in Mpika. Provincial lands offices, councils urge to work together. That's all we could package on this bulletin. On behalf of the entire production team, this has been Michelle Olwinda. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, it's bye-bye and God bless.